fellow citizens, I will be coming to you shortly to ask you to renew for a second time the mandate that you gave me 6 years ago. A mandate to continue the good work we have delivered. A mandate for continuity and stability. A mandate for transformation. A mandate for development and growth. A mandate for consolidation. A mandate to secure peace. A peace that we, with your help, are perfectly preserved.
Well, it's clear by every measure that the Weah presidency is a failed presidency. Whether you look at the rate of unemployment in Liberia, whether you look at corruption in Liberia, Transparency International just released the annual results on corruption. And it shows that Liberia, over the last 5 years of the president's tenure, the country has become more corrupt. One indication of his failed presidency. NIMOT, a very credible local NGO that focuses on governance, has rated this government at 8%, meaning they only fulfill 8% of the promises they made to Liberian people when they came to power. By any measure, by any polling results, Liberians believe they're worse off today than they were 5 years ago. Liberians are suffering more than they were 5 years ago. The salaries of civil servants have been reduced or quote-unquote harmonized. Civil servants are not getting paid on a regular basis. So by any measure, Bidel, Liberia is going backwards, and this president has failed the Liberian people. He is not leading our country. Our country is leaderless, and we are determined to make him a one-term president and replace him in January of 2024.
Critics be saying President Weah failed the Liberian people. What do you think?
No, he never failed the Liberian people, but you know, we the Liberian people, we don't just have that kind of patient mind for our leaders who want for everything to be bread and butter within the 5 years now the president have worked. You know, the president is not receiving donor like what Ellen received from the past regime. The man is receiving a little one that the man is receiving is what the man is using to develop some key areas. Although there are a lot of challenges, but the man is doing well.
Cummings said the president has failed the Liberian people.
Yeah, that's a few. That's own thinking.
What's trouble?
But me, he not failed the Liberian people.
What has he done?
And I done more things I saw. Yeah.
Some of those things.
Some of the things today, education from APC to a high institution of learning, a free tuition. Number one. Number two, since become leader, no WAFI paid by formally paid by the government. And number three, since he became leader, he built estate for common people to live in. Some of the years that he furnished it, and what he built in the first leader ever say I'm born.
What's your message to Liberia?
My message to Liberia is the right leader for all. But the devil is no good thing. And the devil a plan of good thing. If there is no good thing, what to do?
That the performance of George Weah since 1822 to that of 2017, I have not seen it before.
Cummings spoke this morning.
Yeah.
The opposition leader, he said he gave President Weah F. That means President Weah has
failed. Yeah.
What do you think?
This is politics. We expect even Cummings to tell you more than that, because Cummings telling George Weah scoring F, it's not a string thing. The Liberian people will tell Cummings that George Weah scored good, very good. Because George Weah, he is the only president in the Republic of Liberia that had never brought any oath into presidency.
And before I go further, I will say I concur with Mr. Cummings that the president did not deliver well in the period of 5 years.
What do you mean he have not delivered?
When I say he did not deliver, I mean the situation in Liberia now where you get almost pretty close to 2 million or 1 million Liberian children from the age of 0 to maybe 8, 12 years old that are not in school. If you wake up in the morning, you just do a statistic by ghetto to ghetto, by Camel Bowl to Camel Bowl, by community to community. You see Liberian youth, they're not getting anywhere. We expected President George Weah, when he came to power, with the passion the Liberian people had in him, President George Weah was to make sure he pumped in more money in primary education, because the future of this country depends on the youth. And how do you solve that matter? It's by creating more opportunity in the educational sector.
So the first thing is that the speech from the president was still, was empty, and it is also meaningless. I say so because it is said, and by diplomacy, state of the nation is restricted to a particular year and not to your past achievement. That's why they say State of the Nation 2022. So in other words, what you did achieve in 2022, the challenges the country is faced with, these are the things you should bring up. You cannot go back when you started 2018 and kind of lecture us. So it was just a mere propaganda spree and the campaign message that he carried. But on the overall, I agree, it's correct.
It's correct.
Of course, it's
looking
correct.
at his developmental activities across the area, basically, which you can see.
I would appreciate you need more developmental activities.
Well, recently, the launch of the hospital in Buffalo is one, and there are several others. What do you think, apart from the speech, has it filled the Liberian people through development?
Yeah, sure. So let's deal with it on the basis of the question you pose. The first thing is building infrastructure and having the needed equipment coupled with the technical know-how and professional people to do the work is one thing. What is the dividend of the infrastructure when people are dying on the basis of curable diseases, when there is no paracetamol rare at the referral hospital?
Well, in the first place here is that everyone has the right as a citizen, okay? You have the right to say whatsoever you want to say. But from what I listened to yesterday,
What did the president say first?
that's the reason I'm coming to it. I listened to him. He outlined a lot of things that he did in his first term, okay? And others stay on the other side saying that he failed the Liberian people. But for me, I can tell you for sure, he may not be 100%, but he did what he could in his first term. And it is outlined within his speech, and people listen to it, and it's seen. That's something that you can see. It's not something that is inherited. All of those things that he talked about, all those things that he mentioned in his speech, are something that you can see for yourself. It is something that you can see. It's not something that you can hide at all. So if anybody will come out to say he lied and he failed the Liberian people, then it left for you, then you're not sincere to yourself.